Some couples in the public eye seem to have everything perfect. They walk into a room with polished smiles, coordinated appearances, and effortless charm. Magazines and morning shows celebrate them as the perfect couple. But often, what people see is just the surface. Beneath the smiles and the photos is a story of patience, love, struggle, and quiet courage. Jenna Bush Hager, one of the most recognized faces on American television, has always given the impression of warmth, relatability, and authenticity. She has the rare ability to make viewers feel like they are sitting across from her, sharing a cup of coffee and talking about life itself. People respond to her because she makes complex feelings simple and real. Her husband, Henry Hager, has been her steady presence through it all. He doesn't seek the spotlight, but he is a constant anchor in a life surrounded by public attention. Together, they embody a kind of love that is rarely captured in headlines. Their life, which many have only glimpsed in photos or television segments, is a testament to the quiet dedication and effort it takes to build a real, lasting relationship. From the very beginning, Jenna Bush's life has been shaped by visibility and expectation. She was born into one of the most recognized political families in American history. Her father, George W. Bush, became the 43rd President of the United States, and her grandfather, George H.W. Bush, had already served as the 41st. This legacy meant that Jenna grew up under constant scrutiny. Every decision she made, every mistake, and every personal choice was seen and analyzed by the public. Even when she was just a young adult at the University of Texas, her life was far from private. The press, cameras, and public opinion followed her closely. In such an environment, it is easy to become hardened, cynical, or withdrawn. But Jenna emerged not bitter, but more empathetic, human, and grounded. She learned to separate who she truly was from the image that the world expected her to project. This early life experience shaped her approach to relationships, family, and career. It taught her patience, resilience, and the importance of finding people who see her for who she really is, not just her last name or public persona. Henry Hager, in contrast, came from a quieter, less visible background. He was politically connected, yes, but his life had been lived largely away from the glare of cameras. A University of Virginia graduate, Henry carried a calm confidence and a steady demeanor. When he met Jenna during her father's second presidential campaign, he stood out immediately because he focused on her as a person, not as a political figure or a member of a famous family. In a world where proximity to fame is often treated as currency, Henry's attention was rare and genuine. He did not seek recognition or validation through public visibility. Instead, he offered something even more valuable: consistency, presence, and a sense of security in a life that was otherwise chaotic. This quiet approach created the foundation for a love story that was not built for cameras, headlines, or public applause, but for the enduring work of partnership, trust, and shared values. Their courtship was slow, deliberate, and intimate, marked by long conversations and deep mutual understanding rather than public displays or social spectacle. By the time Henry proposed in 2007, their relationship had already demonstrated its depth. The proposal took place on a hike through Jenna's grandfather's property in Maine, a deeply personal location that symbolized family, history, and connection. Their wedding, in May 2008, reflected the same principles: intimacy, privacy, and a focus on what truly mattered. Surrounded only by close family and friends at the Prairie Chapel Ranch in Crawford, Texas, they created a meaningful and personal celebration. This moment was not about public display or societal expectation. It was about stepping into a new chapter of life together with intention, thoughtfulness, and love. It marked the beginning of a shared journey in which both would continue to navigate public scrutiny, family legacy, and personal growth while maintaining a deep, private connection. The years following their wedding tested the couple in ways that were deeply personal. Like many couples, Jenna and Henry faced challenges that were invisible to the outside world. One of the most profound experiences came as they began trying to grow their family. Hope and readiness, while essential, do not always align with biology, timing, or circumstances. The waiting period was filled with uncertainty and emotional complexity. Jenna has spoken openly about this period in her life, describing the quiet grief, patience, and determination required to navigate those moments. Henry's role was crucial during this time, not through dramatic gestures, but through steadfast presence, patience, and unwavering support. Together, they weathered this period with a combination of love, resilience, and commitment that is often invisible in family photographs but profoundly real in lived experience. The arrival of their first daughter, Mila, in 2013 was transformative. After years of waiting and emotional struggle, her birth brought new meaning to the patience and love that had sustained the couple. 2 years later, Poppy joined the family, and in 2019, their son Hal completed the trio. These children represent more than just family. They symbolize the quiet victories, dedication, and perseverance that define Jenna and Henry's relationship. Every smile, milestone, and shared moment reflects years of intentional effort, a commitment that has been consciously chosen again and again in both the hard and joyful times. Their love story is not one of perfection, but one of authenticity, groundedness, and shared values that have been tested and strengthened over time. Alongside their family life, Jenna's career continued to evolve. Joining the Today Show in 2009 as a contributor and later becoming co-host of The Fourth Hour in 2020, Jenna carved a professional identity that reflected her voice, warmth, and authenticity. Her ability to connect with viewers stems not from polished performance, but from lived experience, balancing professional responsibility with family life, public visibility with private grounding. Writing books with her mother, Laura Bush, she explored themes of family, resilience, and intergenerational connection, using her own life as a lens to explore universal human experiences. Meanwhile, Henry remained quietly focused on his own career, deliberately maintaining privacy while providing a stable foundation for their family. His choice to prioritize home, presence, and partnership over visibility or fame is rare and remarkable, providing the emotional and structural support that enables Jenna's public success. Even during the pandemic, when public and private life blurred for so many, Jenna and Henry managed to navigate unprecedented challenges. Jenna hosted a national television program while raising 3 children and managing household responsibilities. Henry's consistent support allowed her to maintain presence and authenticity on air, demonstrating again that the strength of their relationship is found in the quiet, daily acts of care, patience, and commitment rather than dramatic public gestures. The secret of their life together, which the public might expect to be a single shocking revelation, is actually this: they have built a real, enduring love story. It is imperfect, unglamorous at times, and deeply human, yet it is precisely this reality that makes it so extraordinary. Jenna Bush Hager and Henry Hager's story reminds us that the truest forms of love and partnership are often invisible. They are found not in headlines or viral moments, but in patience, understanding, shared growth, and daily acts of support. The challenges they faced, from public scrutiny to family legacy to personal struggles, were not avoided, but met together. Their commitment to each other, their children, and their values has created a foundation that allows both individuals to thrive publicly and privately. This is the story behind the smiles, the photographs, and the appearances, a life built deliberately, tested honestly, and strengthened continually through decades of shared experience. Jenna Bush Hager's childhood was unlike that of most children. She was born into a family whose name carried immense recognition, influence, and responsibility. From a very young age, Jenna had to understand that her actions, choices, and even her words could be seen and analyzed by the public. Her father, George W. Bush, eventually became the 43rd President of the United States, and her grandfather, George H.W. Bush, had already served as the 41st. Being part of such a family meant that Jenna's life was divided between 2 worlds: the private life of family, warmth, and ordinary childhood experiences, and the intensely public life of scrutiny, expectation, and unrelenting attention. Growing up under these circumstances is a unique kind of challenge. Every misstep or moment of rebellion could become a headline. Every birthday, school performance, or casual photo could be examined by media outlets and discussed endlessly by the public. Even routine aspects of childhood, like friendships, school projects, or teenage milestones, were colored by the awareness that she was not just Jenna, a girl growing up, but Jenna Bush, a member of one of America's most prominent political families. This duality created pressure, but also shaped her resilience, empathy, and understanding of human nature. Unlike many who might have become hardened or withdrawn under such circumstances, Jenna developed an authenticity that allowed her to relate to others with warmth, humor, and sincerity. She learned to navigate her world with grace, understanding that who she was privately mattered just as much as her public image. This balance between private self and public persona laid the groundwork for her future life, including her approach to relationships, family, and career. It also created an inner strength that would serve as the foundation for her partnership with Henry Hager, a man who would become not just a husband, but a steady presence through decades of high visibility and personal growth. While Jenna's life was marked by constant visibility, Henry Hager grew up in a world that was far quieter. Politically connected, he was aware of influence and history, but his life had been largely lived out of the public eye. Day attended the University of Virginia, where he developed a calm confidence and a steady, grounded demeanor that would become his defining characteristic. Unlike many who might be drawn to fame or recognition, Henry's focus was on substance, presence, and integrity. He approached the world with a quiet deliberation, prioritizing relationships and personal responsibility over social spectacle or external validation. When he met Jenna during her father's second presidential campaign, he immediately stood out to her because he saw her as a person, not as a political figure or a celebrity by association. In a life filled with people seeking proximity to power, Henry's attention was rare and genuine. He noticed her values, her intelligence, and her humor. He did not need to impress, to perform, or to leverage her family name for personal gain. Instead, he offered a kind of constancy and stability that was both reassuring and transformative for Jenna. Their connection grew slowly and deliberately, marked by meaningful conversations, shared values, and mutual respect. It was not flashy, not public, and not designed to impress anyone but each other. In this sense, Henry became the quiet anchor that would allow Jenna to navigate the pressures of public life while remaining true to herself, creating a foundation for a relationship that could endure challenges, uncertainty, and the passage of time. The courtship between Jenna and Henry was remarkable precisely because it was deliberate, slow, and deeply personal. In an environment where public displays of affection or media appearances often dictate the pace of relationships, they built their connection in quiet spaces. They spent hours talking, discovering each other's values, dreams, and fears. These conversations became the building blocks of trust and intimacy. Unlike relationships that are heavily influenced by spectacle, theirs was based on mutual understanding and respect. When Henry proposed in 2007, it was not a grandiose public event, but a private moment on a hike through Jenna's grandfather's property in Maine, a place of family significance and personal meaning. This choice reflected their shared values: privacy, authenticity, and connection to family. Their wedding in May 2008 followed the same philosophy. Held at the Prairie Chapel Ranch in Crawford, Texas, it was intimate, surrounded only by close family and friends. There were no cameras, no celebrity guests, and no media circus. The ceremony focused on the couple and the life they were beginning together, emphasizing intention and love over public validation. From the very beginning, their relationship was defined by choices that prioritized authenticity, commitment, and the quiet, daily work of building a life together. These early decisions laid the foundation for a partnership that could endure not just public attention, but also the inevitable personal challenges of family, career, and growth. After their marriage, Jenna and Henry faced one of the most profound challenges in any relationship: the journey to build a family. For many couples, this is a private and personal experience, but for Jenna, there was always an added layer of visibility and expectation. She has openly shared the emotional complexity of this time, describing periods of uncertainty, waiting, and emotional vulnerability. The experience was not simple, and it was not easy. It required patience, empathy, and the ability to support one another through difficult and often unseen moments. Henry's role during this time was pivotal. He was not only a supportive partner, but a steady presence, consistently offering patience, reassurance, and quiet love. Together, they navigated the challenges with intention, showing that resilience and dedication in relationships are as important as love itself. The arrival of their first daughter, Mila, in 2013 marked the beginning of a new chapter. This moment was transformative, representing the culmination of years of hope, patience, and mutual support. 2 years later, Poppy joined the family, followed by their son Hal in 2019. Each child represents not only the growth of their family, but the manifestation of years of perseverance, patience, and intentional love. Their journey to parenthood highlights a key aspect of their story. Real love is not about perfection or easy moments. It is about commitment, resilience, and the shared effort to nurture and sustain life together. As Jenna Bush Hager transitioned from private life into professional adulthood, she faced the challenge of defining herself outside her famous family name. Though she grew up surrounded by public scrutiny, she pursued opportunities that allowed her to speak, write, and connect with people authentically. Joining the Today Show in 2009 as a contributor was a major milestone in this journey. It was more than just a job. It was a platform that demanded constant presence, empathy, and authenticity. Day after day, she had to meet guests with warmth and curiosity, engage viewers with honesty, and make the complexities of the world relatable to millions. For someone who grew up under public observation, this role required emotional discipline. Jenna had to remain engaged and present even when personal life was full of challenges. Alongside this, she wrote multiple books, several co-authored with her mother, Laura Bush. These works explored family, memory, resilience, and the nuances of life across generations. Writing became a tool for processing experience, turning personal insights into language that could resonate with others. At the same time, Jenna navigated the pressure of balancing public attention with personal priorities. She had to find her voice and identity while remaining true to the values instilled by her upbringing. This was not a simple journey. It demanded patience, self-awareness, and courage to remain genuine in a world that often rewards performance over authenticity. It also highlighted the crucial role Henry played behind the scenes, offering support, grounding, and a stable environment in which she could thrive professionally while nurturing a family. While Jenna's work brought her into the spotlight, Henry Hager remained largely private, choosing to focus on family and personal career growth. This decision was both deliberate and rare in a world where public recognition is often treated as a measure of success. Henry understood the power of quiet consistency and the value of presence over visibility. He did not seek fame or leverage the Bush name for advantage. Instead, he built his career on his own terms, cultivating skills, opportunities, and stability that would support the life he shared with Jenna. More importantly, Henry provided an emotional foundation for his wife. Whether during the challenges of trying to grow their family, managing public attention, or navigating professional transitions, he remained steady. His support was not